Hello and welcome to ESFL 160, and we got a crazy card to match a crazy event in UFC 300 last night. So hope everybody check that out. Now, man, having a good day today. I am joined by my main man, commentated with Frank one other time. It was an amazing experience. Got a nice chemistry. Frank, how you doing today?
Man, I'm feeling good, Boxer. Glad to have a good event on UFC 5 today on the PlayStation side of things. On the back, like you said, of a fire UFC 300 last night, man. Great cards, great fights. You know, great card, top to bottom on both ends of things. So we're gonna try and replicate that same thing going on here today, man.
Yeah, and speaking of that, we're gonna take a look at this fight card because we got some bangers on this fight card. All right, so the first you got Storm versus Tusav. You know, they could be fighting to keep a contract inside of the ESFL. Kratos versus Style. Kahan versus Psycho Shark. These are, you know, UFC 5 ESFL debuts. The Pug versus Spooky. Host Ninja versus Papa Lemur. That's a crazy fight. And both of those fighters, 1 and 2, 1 and 3. So they got a lot to fight for. MG versus Tech. NJ versus Dave. And then look at this right here. Treehouse versus EdParker. You literally can't get any better than that. 2-0 versus 2-1. And then I don't even know what to say. I'm lost for words. GOAT1099 making his ESFL season debut versus B3ImTheGOAT. Okay, and we got a lot to say about that. And then two guys that's really deserving to get into that title fight. VuK versus Cryptic. Both of these guys 3-1. Very, very technical match here. And then the title fight, the fight of the evening. We looking at Wavy versus Smudger. Undefeated title fight. Okay, so this card is stacked from top to bottom. Frank, which one of these fights stand out the most to you?
Well, naturally, man, anytime EdParker's on the card, eyes are going to be on that fight. Him versus Treehouse is going to be a fantastic matchup, man. Treehouse is a top-notch grappler. Can't wait to see what he's going to get done in the octagon. But also, man, GOAT versus GOAT. And I got to be honest with you, man, the wrestling fan in me wants that fight to be for the name, right? The winner of that fight gets to keep the name GOAT, and the other one's got to change it up and get a new reinvention of themselves later on down the line. But that's another discussion for another time, man. I don't know about you. I think we're about ready to get into this first fight. What are you thinking?
Yeah. Let's get into that first fight. I like those fight picks. We definitely gonna talk about it a little bit more. But the first fight of the evening here, lot on the line. We got Tusav versus Storm. So Frank, what do you know about these two fighters?
Well, Storm is a fighter that uses constant pressure, good striking, and wrestling. He's a former primetime champ in UFC 4. But he's had a bit of an up and down season here on 5. He's 2-2, defeated Rolling Thunder ESFL 152. But he lost to Cryptic, lost to Ungodly, but was able to get back in the winning side of things with a victory over MG at 158. Tusav, on the other hand, looking to get in the win column. He's 0-2 currently. He lost to Josh as a late replacement at 154, and he lost to Host Ninja at 158. He's a multiple title contender in affiliate leagues, but has yet to make that same big splash here on the big stage at ESFL. So we're going to see what he's able to bring to the table here today for us.
Okay, yeah. And then look at this right here. So we got UFC 231 Max Holloway versus Topuria. Couldn't be a better matchup. This version of Max Holloway has the fast hands. In round one, let's get into it. They touch gloves and they right into it. And look at there, those fast hands by Max Holloway coming out, already putting them 1-2s on him, Frank.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Is 231? That's not the Cater fight, is it? No, that's one of the Aldo fights, isn't it?
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm not much of a historian, but that sounds correct.
I could be wrong. I'm probably showing, you know, my inexperienced. People in the comments probably flaming me, but that's all good. These guys are getting to it right in the pocket from the beginning here, Boxer.
Yeah, so this version of Max Holloway, like we say, he got the fast hands versus the other one has that higher altitude. So a little bit less stamina on this version of Max Holloway, but in close, he has that range and he also has that fast hands. So we're going to see how both of these fighters manage their stamina. But yeah, I mean, if you have, oh, it's the Brian. They told me right there, and it's the Brian Ortega.
Oh
Um,
man, that's the teacher
yeah,
how to block Max. Okay, yeah, no, this is gonna be an absolute problem. But on the other
yeah.
side of things, man, Topuria is not to be slept on. Adept in every area of the game in MMA, and looks like he's already opened up maybe a cut or something of the sort on Holloway over there. Got an injury starting to form. We'll see if he can keep applying pressure on that.
Woo. All right, yeah. So again, so Storm is in the blue gloves. We got two Sav in the red gloves with Max Holloway here. And see, the thing is, if you got Topuria and you're able to get this fight to the ground, he already has such a great stand up. But if you can get this fight to the ground, you have a lot of options for submissions. But that's going to be tougher said than easier said than done, right?
They also
You
said
see
the
this
exact same thing
Max
about
Holloway.
Brian. They
Yeah,
also said the exact same thing about Brian Ortega when he fought this
exactly.
Max Holloway. If he can get him to the ground, it can be a problem, but that didn't quite happen.
Oh.
Oh, but he never hit an uppercut like that in that fight, Boxer. Now Max
Wow.
Holloway's down, back to his feet, and right back to the ground, and right back up.
Yeah, and see,
That's the takedown defense.
yeah, even though Topuria is, I mean, he's so good on the ground, on the stand up here, you got a punch speed of 97 and a punch power of 98, if I'm reading that correct. So, I mean, you really can't play around. He's just as good on the stand up as he is on the ground. So you got a very strong striker here. Both of these guys, you know, it's a 3-round fight. So, you know, there's definitely letting these hands go. But man,
Even
that was
so
a huge
far,
knockdown.
yeah, that knockdown is looking to separate it so far, and he's starting to build on that right now. Looks like he's having some more success, you know, with the pressure fighting, keeping things right in the face of Sav.
Yeah, exactly. But if you're Sav, as we saw last night at 300, Max Holloway just has just epic power in those hands with all of that speed. But just I said that, a huge rock there with Topuria and Storm. Again, man, he's really doing a good job in this first round, Frank.
Yeah, he's doing a good job. He's able to time the shots. He's able to get out of the way of the return fire, and he is cutting the face of Max Holloway up. Goodness gracious. He's got 2 cuts on the left side, and that swelling on the right is horrific. So that's going to be something he's going to have to keep an eye on. He's got to keep those hands up. But right now, Storm is finding those openings, and he is barging through them in that first round.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And Storm, you know, he's 2-2. Sav is 0-2, hadn't, you know, gotten a win yet in the ESFL. So let's see if he can collect himself and fight through this adversity. But as soon as I say that, he find himself on his back.
Yeah, great takedown there. Maybe just looking for a different look. Maybe just trying to get some ground control time just to, you know, recover and give this fight a different look. Maybe exploit the advantage, see what presents itself right now. Tries to posture up, but isn't quite able to get it.
Yeah, exactly. So now whenever you want to look at Topuria on top, he is a straight menace on top, has a lot of submissions in every single position. But
Ooh.
That's a good job by Sav to get this back to the feet.
Yeah, big knee almost landed, but he was able to get the block up. And now Sav has got to be very, very wary because he's taking a lot of damage so far, and it's only getting worse. Storm's starting to find his rhythm here, Boxer.
Yeah,
Double
exactly.
jab
Storm
lands.
finding his rhythm. And then this is the part of the fight where you can really tell just a small stamina advantage.
Another slip uppercut.
Wow. And look at that. That was it. With that 98 power Topuria, Storm goes to 3-2. Frank, what did you see there? That's crazy.
Man, just defense turning into offense. He saw the straight punch. It seemed like Holloway was going to the well with those straights a little bit too much. And Topuria was able to slip, land that first uppercut, and then just keep applying the pressure, get through that block, and then land another uppercut to drop the fight, finishes it with the follow-up strikes up against the cage. And yeah, man, he had been putting in the work, and then it started paying off. He was able to land huge shots on the backs of some slips right there in that fight.
Yeah, so I mean, you really can't ask for a fight to get started out any better than that. We got first round knockout there from Storm, having a great start to this card here with a huge knockout. And man, we're going to be moving right along here. So
yeah, for sure.
Again, so next we looking at Kratos and versus style here. Kratos 0-0 versus style is 1-0. So you want to keep that undefeated record going. What do you know about these two fighters, Frank?
So this is Kratos' debut. He's had several high-level fights in UFC 4 comp. He's had mixed results, but he feels the game is now moving in his favor, and he's ready to compete. So 8M is a new camp that spun off the old Hit Squad camp. Mellow Coffee is the leader. It includes Kratos, Treehouse, 11 Bravo, and Host Ninja. You know, good group of guys right there, and he's going to be taking on what remains of Veristyle. He won as a late replacement against Paynes at ESFL 158, and both these guys, a lot of unknowns here, and we're going to see who's able to make that statement and, you know, put their name on the map here.
Okay, and looking at these two fighters, is this who they end up going with? Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards, and this is always a classic matchup because both of these fighters are good in the stand-up. I would get a slight edge to Leon Edwards, but whenever it goes to the ground, if on top, you're gonna give that advantage to Kamaru Usman, because if he's able to posture up whenever he's on the ground, you're talking about landing some heavy ground and pound. Both guys touching him up, and right away ends up with that T-kick right up the middle, Frank.
Yeah, maybe trying to get some distance and, you know, just kind of measure this thing out, but Kratos able to get one back. Obviously, like you say, he's gonna be looking to keep this thing on the feet, but Veristyle getting some good body shots in there. We'll see what, you know, what strategies these fighters are trying to employ.
Yeah, exactly. Now with Kamaru Usman, I like to use that 1-2 because both of his jab and his straight is 5 stars. So those things come out fast. They come out with doing a lot of good damage, especially with Kamaru Usman there. And so let's see if they use those 1-2s, but you got to watch out for that speed of those kicks of Leon Rocky Edwards.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Leon Edwards' offense is so varied, and I feel like Kratos is going to be able to use that to his advantage. Everything he throws can come out with such, you know, power, speed, quickness, accuracy. He's just a top-notch striker in every facet. As he, you know, he took a good left hand there, but able to roll with it. Nice teep kick there. Usman gives him one right back. Both these guys are trying to find that advantage, but this fight's very even 2 minutes in.
Yeah, and one thing that I'm seeing, they fighting at a very fast pace right here. Veristyle may be doing a little bit more damage, and I like the way that he's, you know, changing levels. He's going to the body, he's going up high. However, that's at the cost of a little bit of stamina. So I want to see how they preserve his stamina throughout this first round right here. But both of these fighters seem pretty evenly matched so far. It could just be who zigs the wrong way and you should have zagged the other way.
Yeah,
but man, look at there. Huge right hand there coming out.
Nice combination there from Kratos. And you were talking
Kratos
about
again.
Yeah, he's finding the timing right there. You were talking about stamina management, and right there, he's throwing those teeps. He's mixing body shots in very, very well. He's doing a good job of staying just out of range of return fire.
Oh, yeah, I like that head movement. So it seems like Veristyle right there is trying to close that gap on that stamina. Kratos understands that, is throwing knees right back, trying to keep that stamina lead. But you got to watch out because, man, those uppercuts and then that right hand is what I'm seeing Kratos land over and over.
He's not overextending on anything, man. He's finding what's working and just continuing to throw it. He's not, you know, throwing too heavy combos. He's just throwing pop, getting his shots off, getting out of there. And it's having a lot of success so far. Veristyle trying to fight back. You see him picking up the pace, being a bit more aggressive here at the end of round 1. Nice pull elbow. That might even things up going forward here, Boxer.
Yeah, I was looking at that. So the thing is, with Kratos, there it is. He landed again. And his second shot is usually a round strike. And I was wondering where Veristyle was going to pick up on that and execute a pull elbow, which he did. But there it is, Kratos mixing it up again, able to get another rock. And this is going to be a huge uphill battle there. But man, ending that fight, ending that round with a huge head kick there. I'm not sure if that registered, but man, that was a crazy round 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And we saw in the stats there, it actually looked like Usman had landed more and more significant strikes. But just from what I was seeing, it seemed like Kratos had the advantage because his shots had the better timing, you know? Like, it seems like he was able to land more impactful strikes. He was able to get more health events, more rocks. And now it looks like he's got more damage on him to start things off. But that's in the past. That's the last round. We're going to see how they start round 2. And Usman is being very aggressive with the striking, trying to get that block down. But Kratos doing a good job staying just out of range. Veristyle's gonna have to figure out how to close that range, how to keep that distance in close.
Okay, Verstyle landing some shots of his own, but there's that 95 speed there coming out from Leon Edwards. And this fight is on the feet right there, but a rock of his own for Verstyle. Can he get the knockdown? And wow, these guys are going back and forth, very evenly matched. Like we said, I'm not sure whose fight it is right now, but both of these guys is going back and forth, finding a lot of openings, and it could just go and be anybody's match at this point, Frank.
Yeah, 100%, man. Like, these guys are firing on all cylinders. Both of them are starting to figure out their offense. They're starting to figure out what the other one's throwing and how to counter that, and what adjustments to make going forward. They're in the middle of this chess match, and I'm trying to see who's gonna, who's gonna make that first mistake. The body shots of Verstyle are working very well right now against Kratos. We're gonna see though if he gets caught going to the cookie jar one too many times, maybe eats an uppercut for his troubles.
Okay, so one thing that I see with Verstyle, he's definitely throwing a lot of 3-punch, 2-punch combos, coming out with a lot of round strikes. So, I want to see if Kratos can pick up on that himself and get a pull counter back. But there it is. He ends up getting the another rock there off of the sway hook and doing a good job.
Yeah, his slip strikes have been very well. I feel like he's had the majority of his success dodging the straight punches down the middle.
Okay, there it is. First takedown attempt.
Not good enough, because the takedown defense of Leon Edwards on point, able to keep himself on the feet.
Yeah, exactly. Takedown defense of Leon Edwards is a 97. So, he's no slouch, but that equals Kamaru Usman takedown of a 97. So they're pretty much evenly matched in that scenario. And when somebody goes down, another rock there and through the uppercut, you can't just duck whenever. And there it is, the takedown again, turning takedown to the left. And let's see if he can
saved his life.
Yeah, let's see if he can do something with it now. Got to do something with this position. Half guard.
Crucial time. Now he's on half guard. Yeah.
Yeah, but you only got a minute to work.
There's still plenty of time for somebody with the power of Usman to be able to get some good posture up strikes and some real damage in. We'll see what he's able to do with the remaining 35 seconds. Transitions back into half guard.
Yeah, exactly. Top control, a 95 and ground striking of 95. And see, he went for the submission. He got reversed there. I think he wanted to register maybe, a submission just to kind of even this match out. Went for it, but got reversed. But just like you said, that posture up striking is a ground striking of 95 with Kamaru Usman. I would take that over submission attempt any day with Kamaru Usman, because he can end your night early just with one posture up.
Yeah, 100%. But that was a great round there from Kratos, and we'll see if he's able to keep that momentum up into this third round, or if Verstyle is going to be able to continue to go to the ground, get some into side control, and now he's got an entire round to work. We'll see what's going to happen here.
Okay, so we see 2 takedowns here. So the new patch that came out, I mean, that took some frames off of those takedown attempts, and what you see right there is a smoother takedowns, and it seems like a lot more effective. I mean, you can sway, get your takedowns, and this could change just a lot of the meta, because you can get the fight where you want to a little bit easier now, and that's what we're seeing with Verstyle.
Yeah, able to get this thing to the ground, but as you said in the last round, you got to do something with that position. He's, able to hold top position. He's getting these pitter-patter shots in, but he's not quite able to land that big ground and pound, or, get to that dangerous position. Now may be able to change that up. He's going to stand back up. That might be a mistake, Boxer.
Yeah, it might be a mistake. I think what he's looking at, this is the third round, all right? And he's feeling like he's down on the scorecards. He needs a knockout to win this fight. He has to be careful, though. He's throwing a lot of round strikes. Kratos could pick up on that and pull counter one of those, and then that's it. I'm seeing it over and over, but at least he's going for it.
Yeah, at least he's going for it. Like you said, able to get a huge elbow there.
What?
Tried to unload the gas tank just to see if he could get that knockout, but wasn't able to do so. The defense of Kratos holds up, and now an uppercut slips through, and he's in trouble there.
Wow.
What a huge overhand.
First knockdown. Man, not yet. Both of these fighters low on stamina, can't really land the correct combination after they rock their opponent to get the knockdown. But both of these fighters at this point just standing toe to toe. looking like
exactly.
Max Holloway and Gaethje right here. It's crazy.
Meanwhile, the mat looks like Friday the 13th, man. These
Exactly.
these cuts are getting vicious. I'm surprised we haven't had the referee come in and look at it, but hey, man, these guys are standing in there and throwing down. It's insane.
Exactly. All right, so both of these fighters here just throwing a lot of just round strikes out here, just feeling somebody could catch a pull counter here in the last minute here just to get a finish, or will it go to the judges' scorecards? We will find out.
50 seconds left. I don't think it will, to be honest. We're going to see what happens, but man, these guys are throwing down. This is an early contender for fight of the night right now.
Yeah, exactly. And there it is. We
Huge
get an
uppercut.
uppercut there. Coming out, and another one. Wow. And see, hey, Frank, I guess that was a good decision. Was on the ground, felt like, hey, I could be down on the scorecards. Let me get up with these powerful hands of Kamaru Usman, who is still 93 speed, 93 punch power, more than sufficient. Got the job done on the feet.
Yeah. You know, like I said, I thought it might have been a mistake. He stood back up, was able to find the shots that he needed to find, and got the victory. So congratulations to Veristyle, picking up a good win. And like I said, man, that's looking like a potential fight of the night contender. Let me go ahead and
yeah,
put
exactly.
that in the
Did
notes.
you see? So looking at those stats, Veristyle was down 2 rounds to nothing. He had to get up off of the mat and actually execute it and got the knockout. That was insane.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so now we're moving on to the third fight of the evening. We got 2 fighters. UFC 5 debut, ESFL debut. Understand how that feels. A lot of pressure on the line. You got commentators screaming over your fight. You got Kahan and Psycho Shark. Anything you know about these fighters?
Nothing except their names. Like you said, both these guys are making their debuts. So I feel like this would be a great chance for all of us to sit down at the Reading Rainbow and learn together, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So now we looking at Alex Pereira versus John Jones in the light heavyweight division. In real life, this would be a crazy matchup. You already understand that power of Alex Pereira of 97, but whenever you want to talk about John Jones, just a lot of range, great on the takedown and on the ground. So if this ends up being the fighters that they select, this is going to be a good matchup. You already know whenever you're fighting Alex Pereira, you want to take that fight to the ground, because if you're standing up, it could be like last night and just be over with before you even know it.
I love that UFC 300 gave us 2 of the hardest like gifts of all time, you know, with Max throwing down and then getting the last second KO, but also Pereira getting kicked low and telling her, hang on, I'm not done. I got something for this. And then just dropping heel immediately afterwards, man, like that was chef's kiss, top tier moment.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, you couldn't ask for that. So these fighters can start anytime that they're ready. Now, one thing UFC 5 added just right there on the spot. You see these shorts, all of the shorts. I'm not sure exactly how many they added, but the ones that stand out to me was the Max Holloway shorts, the Alex Pereira shorts, the Justin Gaethje shorts. Like, I mean, that was absolutely just, you know, spot on.
Yeah, 100%. I loved it. Like you said, it was immediate. You know, they dropped those shorts, the pictures like earlier this week. They already got him in the game. That's incredibly impressive. But it looks like we're going to be switching things over.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to change up right here. We're going Papa Lemur versus Host Ninja, and we'll see if we get back to that fight. Okay, so now this fight here, both of these fighters, 1 and 2 for Host Ninja, 1 and 3 for Papa Lemur. They are also fighting to, you know, potentially stay on the roster. You know, a lot of adversity, a lot of great fighters that they fought. So what do you know about these 2 fighters, Frank?
Well, like you said, they both got their backs against the wall, but whenever you're backed into a corner, only way to go is out, and we're gonna see what these guys got. Host Ninja lost to Smudger at 152, and he was able to take 156 off, retool, and he beat Tusav at 158. And now it's Papa Lemur, who's 1-3, lost to Word Life, but beat Rolling Thunder. Lost to I'm the GOAT, who's gonna be fighting later, and Samurai, and we're gonna see what these guys have got for us going forward here.
All right, touching them up in round one. So we got Host Ninja here in the red gloves, Papa Lemur in the blue gloves. So you got Sean O'Malley. We already know how great he is on the feet versus Nurmagomedov, who's great on the ground. Let's see if, and there it is, the first attempt with those smooth takedowns. Get the first takedown early in the first round. This is huge for Papa Lemur because if he can control this position, Frank, you know, you can drain a lot of stamina early from this point.
100%, or you could just posture up and end the night immediately. I mean, those posture ups do a ton of damage to the block going forward. And if you've got a Nurmagomedov, you've got the fight on the ground, you're in a great position. And right now, he's just postured up with them flattened out, just raining punishment down on Host Ninja. Like I said, potentially looking to end this fight already, but Host Ninja able to fight his way out and get back into half guard.
Yeah, so back flat, if postured up position, those are one of the most vulnerable positions. And, you know, so Papa Lemur able to come out and do some early damage here. And let's see if he can stay here. Now, what Host Ninja needs to do, he's in full guard, needs to find a way to get out of this full guard. And wow, look at this, Host Ninja reversed it. And this is a very strong position. Let's see the games that they're going to be able to play. And if Host Ninja is going to be able to get his first submission here, this is going to be huge, Frank. And I think he's going to get it.
He might. I mean, the stamina is super low. Is he going to get it?
Yeah, there he is. So he got the first one. Okay, so the submission meter went down, and that was huge. That's going to pay big dividends on the judges' scorecards. And
now
man, Papa Lemur making a huge mistake, and Host Ninja getting it done with Sean O'Malley. This is absolutely insane.
Yeah, O'Malley by ground and pound. I'm pretty sure that was on everybody's bingo card.
Exactly.
Now he's just on top, you know, maintaining that full mount, and now just looking for the opportunity, looking for the right moment to posture up and keep getting this damage off, man, because it's not broken.
Wow.
Don't fix it. Just keep going.
Huge ground and pound here with Sean O'Malley. This is very impressive with Host Ninja coming out, being the fighter that's getting taken down, reversing position into the submission here and landing heavy damage here against Papa Lemur. Wow, very impressive.
A lot of early adversity with that takedown, but able to get back up. Got kicked in the face there, but able to get the slip and then a nice 3-4 piece combo to follow it up. Host Ninja's feeling it right now, and you can see it, man. You can see the confidence. He's able to get more free with that striking, and we're going to see what adjustments Papa Lemur is able to make.
Yeah, here it is. And so with Host Ninja, Sean O'Malley, he's going to have a huge advantage here on the feet with punch speed of 98, punch power of 95. So you got to feel really good right now if you're Host Ninja, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Because if you had the advantage on the feet and then right now you ended up doing that good on the ground where Nurmagomedov has the advantage in terms of statistically speaking, and you're able to overcome that, I mean, you're in a real good position here going into round two.
Yeah, absolutely. It's got to feel, like you said, you got to be feeling like you're in a great place. A lot of good things happen for Host Ninja in that round. We'll be able to see if Papa Lemur is able to turn this thing around in the second, starting things off with a huge, well, not a huge, but starting things off with a leg kick, trying to mix things up.
Exactly, but we know just because you feel good don't mean you actually gonna do good. So let's see if a Host Ninja can overcome this and the lag. Hopefully we can get this fight back because, I mean, you know, sometimes we can sink back, and here we go. We got it back. Luckily, who knows?
For a second. We're fighting through the matrix.
Exactly. But we still here.
Yeah.
And these guys, man, huge cut on the eye there. Nurmagomedov, Papa Lemur facing some adversity. What does he have to do at this point, Frank, to turn this fight around?
Well, right now, Host Ninja's having a lot of success, landing a lot of hooks. So you would think that a pull counter would be just what the doctor ordered, and you see he was looking for it. Not quite able to get it, but able to get the ducking hook there, and that might turn things around. But right now, Host Ninja's aggressiveness is just off the charts. He's being very smart, and he's just marching him down right now, Boxer. As a huge left hook lands again. Now he's rocked.
Yeah, I'm liking I'm seeing just the technical skill of both of these fighters. They are reading each other. You can't throw the same type of combination twice, but man, Host Ninja looking real sharp today. And look at that moving back pull counter there by Papa Lemur, showing you just why great he is. And Papa Lemur just doing the fake takedowns. Look at this. It's just so much going on right now, Frank.
Yeah, beautiful slip there. Fans, I mean, it's on both sides. You know, it seems like soon as one is getting his strikes off and able to get a rock, the other one comes back, gets a counter. Bit of a funny animation there. But yeah, the other one's able to counter and then get his own shots going. Huge right, and I guarantee it'll be about 15 seconds before Lemur comes back and rocks Host Ninja again with something else. Never mind. I make a guarantee, and then he gets knocked out to finish the fight.
He's out.
That's kind of how it goes.
John O'Malley with that 98 punches speed. I think when they were standing in the pocket, that was the difference between both of those fighters. You know, Magomedov, a 94, great, but it's not a 98. You cannot mess around with Sean O'Malley inside, you know, on the stand-up. Man, just did a great job. I think it was round one, Frank, you know, where Host Ninja was able to turn that around and do some major ground and pound. And then when the fight got back to the feet, it was sweet.
Yeah, exactly, man. Once they were able to get things back, it was just fireworks the entire time. Back and forth affair. Both those guys really put in a great performance, but Host Ninja has a lot to be proud of right there. Able to get that victory, able to keep, you know, able to get some momentum built. Let's see if he can keep it going, rocking forward.
Yeah, what I'm liking still from that new patch, you see how smooth these takedowns are. It just really adds a lot to the game. So let's see if we can backtrack here a little bit and pick up on where we left off with that debut fight between the two debut fighters, Kahan and Psycho Shark.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Let's see if they're able to, you know, get things figured out. We're ready to go now. Let's hope they are as well.
Okay, yeah. So as we said, I mean, this is a great matchup here. I want to see how it plays out when you have two fighters, their debut, and of course, Alex Pereira, like we said, we know what that power is about. But with John Jones, he's just great in all categories. You got to watch out for those kicks, and especially if John Jones is able to take you down, submissions from everywhere. And I already see we got a Division 20 fighter that's very tough to do coming out there in PlayStation online ranked. So, you know, let's see if these guys touch it up and getting their first experience here in the ESFL debut fighters. Yeah, nice hook coming out there already from KN.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, starting things off, Jones is looking for a leg kick, and now Pereira's returning that. I was just about to say, my question for this fight is how well is the Jones user, Psycho Shark, how well is he going to be able to mix the martial arts? But good takedown defense there from Kahan.
Wow.
And again.
Okay. Now, this is surprising. A lot of takedown defenses, and you see that stamina that John Jones is able to maintain. Even though these takedowns are real smooth, you really still have to set them up. You know, I see, you know, from my last fight, these things are set up off of sways, not just straight takedown attempts right here. But look, John Jones right here still able to get it inside of a combination here, getting a smooth takedown. And so let's see what Psycho Shark has a fight exactly where he wants. Let's see what he can do with it.
Plenty of time to work, but Pereira able to get back to the feet immediately. And you gotta wonder if he's gonna try and immediately throw some power in there, right? You know, give Jones something to think about. Maybe try and keep this guy off of you. But we'll see what the strategy is for him going forward. You got to be careful throwing those kicks, though, man. You can't throw those kicks into nothing with John Jones on the other side. He will make you pay for those more often than not.
Yeah, exactly. Now, one thing to note: even though you hadn't done anything with the position, anytime you have Alex Pereira, and just because he's wrestling with John Jones, look what it's doing to the stamina. Right?
Yeah.
John Jones, just because he's grabbing Alex Pereira, is wearing him out. So you never know how that's going to play later into this fight here.
Yeah, man. I I didn't really notice it until you said something, but the stamina is looking pretty rough for Pajeda going forward. I mean, we're in round 1. There's still a minute 45 left, and I mean, his stamina is not in a great place. And it looks like, looks like Psycho Shark is noticing that and taking advantage of it by mixing shots in and going to the body as well. Now he's throwing some feints there just to give Kahan something else to think about.
Yeah, that 97 cardio for John Jones is something that you have to watch out for, as you just got the 93 cardio coming out from
Also,
Alex
he's
Pajeda.
switching stances. That's going to pay, huge dividends if he continues to attack the body. Going to the body with the open stance is a huge advantage, but he's able to use that, that mind game just to get another takedown and try and salt away this round. But right now, Psycho Shark has had a very good first round.
Yeah, first round, 33 seconds. You want to think about if it's a good time to even get up, because you're going to have to use stamina with Alex Pajeda if you're going to get up. Maybe you just try to keep the fighter postured down and get into round 2 without losing more stamina.
Exactly.
Huge strikes there landed.
Yeah, still able to get some punishment there at the end of the round.
Okay, so, man, Psycho Shark doing a good job. I cannot tell who won that first round there. Maybe give the slight advantage to Psycho Shark. Look at that huge elbow.
I think it was a bit more than a slight advantage, to be completely honest with you. I felt like Psycho Shark was able to dictate where the fight took place, was able to land 2 or 3 solid takedowns. Pajeda was able to get up from one of them relatively easily, but still able to tell, where the fight was going and able to land some good shots in sequence.
Woo!
But we'll see if he's able to turn things around starting round 2, because he's, able to get some good shots off.
Yeah, exactly. Now, for Kahan with Alex Pajeda, you want to keep this fight standing with that 96 punch speed, and John Jones only a 87 punch speed. But look at that takedown there from John Jones, and this is where Psycho Shark wants to keep the fight, and he's been able to get the fight right here more times than not, and this is where this fight probably is going to be won and lost right here.
Yeah, he was able to, get Kahan to use his stamina, and then went for that double leg that goes into the automatic spear takedown, and now here we are. Jones has an entire round of work. He's got his man in half guard. We're gonna see, able to get into the full mount. This is not a great situation for Pajeda to start round 2.
Exactly. All right, so he has a stamina advantage here and landed some huge ground and pound with John Jones. You cannot take any ground and pound from John Jones. So doing a good job right now and looking in full control here with Psycho Shark, landing the elbow from the mounted position.
Yeah, he's got to be careful, man. This fight is dangerously close to being stopped. That elbow's going to get it done. My goodness.
Huge elbow there coming out from John Jones, and Psycho Shark coming out winning his ESFL debut. I understand how good that feels right now. A sense of relief is what John Jones is doing right there in the octagon. And Psycho Shark just really able to dictate, like you said, Frank, where this fight, was going to go. You don't want to stand with Alex Pajeda, doing a nice job getting the job done tonight.
Yeah, at the beginning of the fight, I said it's all going to be a matter of how well he mixes his martial arts. He was able to do a good job there. In the beginning of the fight, it looked like he was a little eager to get that takedown, but once he started mixing in the striking, was able to really blend his striking and his takedowns. That's when the magic started happening, and was able to get on top and land some dominating ground and pound with John Jones, and that's how that fight ended. So congratulations to Psycho Shark, putting yourself on the map with a nice victory in your ESFL debut. We look forward to seeing what you got for us, as we go forward.
Okay, so moving right along, that was a crazy fight. We're going to keep them going. 2 fighters that absolutely need a win. The Pug versus Spooky MD. So, man, the Pug coming out in ESFL debut, fighting Spooky, who has yet to get a win this season in the ESFL. What can you tell us about both of these fights?
Well, like you said, it's the Pug's debut. He's going to be taking on Spooky, who's lost to Tree, Elite King, and 11 Bravo. So he's got 3 losses, but it's to 3 very, elite competitors, all out of the A&M camp. So you got to wonder if they're a bit in his head rent free, but he's also got to feel relieved to be fighting somebody from a different roster, from a different camp, rather. So we'll see what's going on if he's able to keep his roster spot. I got to be honest, There's nothing against you, Spooky. I'm rooting for the pug, but that's only because I am a pug owner. Background's blurred, but Lord Reginald's over there taking a nap on the couch as we speak. That's my whole guy.
Yo, now we seeing a little bit now. Spooky coming out 0-3, and he has this Dan Henderson pickup right here, which is very interesting. And he elects to go with the Pride 33 version and gets the takedown here. 93 takedown and the top control of 93. You know, I mean, against the pug. I mean, Spooky just showing the newcomer how it's done, getting Dan. We don't see this too often here,
right?
With different pickups.
You just always forget that number one, Dan Henderson can wrestle, but like to see it in action is always a bit mind-boggling, just because you know all the knockouts and all the memorable striking exchanges that he's known for. But right now, Spooky's in a great position. You know, got a minute of top control already, starting this thing off. Massive ground and pound to start things going, man. And this is not what the pug wants to start his ESFL debut.
Wow, Spooky's such a dynamic striker. I'm pretty sure if the pug did his homework right on Spooky, you would train stand-up. You wouldn't think that he would come out with the Pride 33 version of Dan Henderson, just ground and pound. So I mean, this is very smart by Spooky. You usually don't see the groundwork here. And look, okay, you're up, you're back on the feet, but look at Spooky still applying that pressure. But the pug able to land a couple of combinations here to back him up. Yeah. But what do you have to do? Look at these takedowns from Dan Henderson. Huge takedown there from Spooky. My goodness, Frank.
The gigantic power takedown from Dan Henderson. And it seemed like the pug was starting to maybe, you know, back him off a little bit. But the aggression, the pressure from Henderson right now, Spooky's doing a great job looking for that submission.
Ended up getting a submission there with Dan Henderson, just proving just how high level competitors in the ESFL are. And this is a tricky situation. I like the strikes that he elected to take there and getting the back flat. Is he looking for the posture up? And that's exactly what he's doing. Not able to land huge takedown there, but now here we go, rear neck choke. And he just uses that to get in the back. Oh, gets reversed there. Great job by the pug. Let's see what he has, Frank.
Yeah, now about a minute left to work. We'll see what the pug's able to get done from top position. Trying to get into full mount, not able to do so. I was about to say, I'm wondering what the strategy is right now. He's just being patient, trying to pepper some shots in, but you know, maybe you got to think about getting some offense off, man, because Spooky has dominated this round one. Let's just be completely honest about it. And if you're the pug, you got to get something to get this guy's respect going into round two. Otherwise, it'll just be more of the same.
Yeah, so with Magomed Ankalaev, I mean, he's definitely a proficient fighter, has all of the stats to match Dan Henderson, but just still can't get the job done. Spooky coming out with a round one, I mean, just domination there. As you can see, blue just lined up in every single category. So at this point, your ESFL debut, I mean, you really can, you know, go two different directions here. Don't let it get you down, but really come out and just show how you can deal with adversity in this situation. You're down on the scorecards, and then also you're behind in the stamina advantage. You know, you really got to stay focused here and do not let this fight get to the ground.
No, I mean, one significant strike landed is pretty damning evidence, to be completely honest, for round one. But that, you know, is in the past, and now able to get his own takedown. Nice ankle pick there. We're going to see what he's able to get done with it. Not too much, as Henderson's able to get right back up to the feet.
Okay, the pug game having some success, but not enough. Spooky taking this fight back to the ground right where he wants it. Let's see if Spooky is trying to go for a submission here, going to, you know, posture up with some huge ground and pound for Dan Henderson. As you see those fakes there into mount coming out from Spooky. But, man, the pug able to get this fight right back into the full guard. But, man, he still takes some huge shots here. Gets reversed.
Nice slip there to get into top control, because Henderson is being incredibly aggressive. He's coming out like a buzzsaw right now, but now the pug able to get some of his own offense back in, able to do some great damage to that block, and we'll see how soon he tries to posture back up immediately, and he's just getting right back to it, man. He's trying to get this damage off, and this is a great way to even up the differential in the fight so far, Boxer, because to this point, he's been controlled, he's been taking damage, but now he's able to get it back. He's trying to get his leg back, Boxer.
Bang, bang, like Bruce Lee Rob would say. All right, right now, this is very dangerous because you're looking at a 94 ground strike in there coming out from VuK Gaming with Ankalov. And at any moment, you never know with Dan Henderson and that chin, you just never know how it's going to hold up with a 92. So it's not the best, it's not the worst. So you can't take this 94 ground striking from a huge light heavyweight and Magomed Ankalov. And man, you just really got to be careful if you're Spooky right now.
100%. Ankalaev is not the person you want on top of you, so Spooky does a great job of reversing his fortune right there and able to get himself into half guard, but Ankalaev able to get back into the guard. But once again, the posture from Henderson, he's continuing to be aggressive. That cost him a little bit earlier in this round, but he's sticking to his guns, and we'll see if that ends up being, a virtue or a mistake. But now Ankalaev has the back and could potentially transition this into a much more dominant position.
Okay, so what I'm seeing now, the VuK Gaming kind of settled down, and now he's settled into this match, okay? And quiet as kept, this could be an even fight right now. And he's doing a real good job to even this fight out after facing all of that adversity, showing why he is in the ESFL, raining down some huge strikes there. And this is all of a sudden, Frank, getting very interesting.
Yeah, he's closing that gap.
He's closing this gap. And will he get a submission himself? Okay, you can't ask for anything better. You got the VuK able to get a submission off himself and drain that submission bar down, just as Spooky did in the first round. Spooky, I would give round 1 to. Round 2, I would give it to the VuK. Now round 3, both fighters have to come out. They haven't won a fight this season. Who wants it more? Who's going to execute and get the job done? Let's go.
Ankalaev going straight to that clinch to start things off. You got to wonder how much damage has he done to the chin of Henderson. As a big uppercut lands.
Exactly. You got to watch out. Dan Henderson with that H-bomb. You got to watch out for that power.
Yeah, both these guys right now. Not want to make a mistake, but a huge uppercut lands in the VuK, able to get the first knockdown of this fight. And another huge hook right there. That damage from the last round is mounting, but oh my goodness, another hook from Henderson gets this thing even right back up, Boxers.
Wow, they're going back and forth. Okay, let's see if Spooky can get a knockdown to even this out. But look at that stamina. He has to watch that stamina with a very, stamina. Dan Henderson here in the Pride is very low, like an 88. So you got to watch out here. The VuK doing a real good job to get this fight pretty much even, and then he gets another
big uppercut and a hook to follow it up.
Wow.
That up kick saved his entire life right there, because this fight could have been over right then, Boxer.
Ooh. Huge left hand there, landed by Spooky. Now you get the takedown coming out from the VuK, keeping this thing back on the feet. Spooky is a very dangerous fighter here on the feet, but can he get it done with Dan Henderson though? Oh, huge knockdown.
Yeah, huge left hand slips through, and right now Ankalaev is winning the war of attrition, but he keeps letting Spooky up, and as we know, man, one shot from Dan Henderson could be all it takes to end this fight. But right now, the VuK is in a great place.
Yeah, slight speed advantage there from the VuK on the feet. Just a 93 for Dan Henderson, but a 95 for Ankalaev. And so look at this, a huge
takedown. Massive. And now he can look to finish this fight, Boxing. I mean, if he can posture up, and I think 1 or 2 good flurries, that could be all she wrote. He might not even need to posture up. This side saddle position is so dangerous with the elbows and the strikes that you can land.
Man, I mean, this was a complete turnaround from round 1. I mean, you get dominated in round 1, and then
able to transition to mount.
Yeah, now you don't want to leave this thing going to the judges, and that's exactly what he's trying to do, because you never know how the judges are going to see it at this point. If the fight is over, you know, I would give the slight advantage to Pug Gaming. I've seen crazier decisions than that. But wow.
It's also worth noting that Henderson's nose has almost been knocked off of his face.
Ooh, look at here, man.
Able to get back in the mount.
It's
not
like
much time left.
Just turned into a completely new fighter.
Might be able to get this finish. No, very close.
Let's see what the judges think. We saw it one way, but let's see what the judges think.
Yeah, you know, like you said, this fight started off and the Pug was in dire straits, man. It looked like, you know, this was going to be one-way traffic, but he was able to find his rhythm and, like you said, really settle down into this fight. And once he was able to get that done, man.
Wow.
That's the unanimous decision victory.
Coming out for your ESFL debut, and you beat Spooky, which is a very dangerous fighter. Giving respect to Spooky, picking up the Pride 33 version of Dan Henderson.
100%.
But man, I mean, it just looked like he had it in round one, and then everything just fell apart. You know, once the Pug settled down and just said, hey, yeah, I belong here. And he got the job done. Great job by both of those fighters. Wow.
Absolutely. Both those guys put in a fantastic performance. I feel like that is worth, you know, fight of the night consideration. So again, I'm just going to go ahead and take a quick little note-see of that.
Yeah, I was not expecting that, you know, because in between those rounds, I was like, what do you do at this point? You know, you're facing adversity, you down in stamina, and he turns it right around. Okay, now let's keep it going here. Getting into the sixth fight of the evening here. We got MG versus Tech, and Tech is a very decorated fighter on the stand-up. He's very dynamic and creative, and but he's fighting MG, who's 2-1. Frank, what you know about these fighters?
MG defeated Blackout Hours and Storm. Those are his two victories, but he lost to Vanillo. He's a boxer who uses pressure and elite head movement. Tech defeated Josh Ray in his debut, but he lost to Tree at 158. He's top 100 and ranked, and he's been dominant in the affiliate league. So we'll see if that success is able to transfer here to the ESFL.
Wait, who's top 100? Okay. Yeah, I seen him up there for
Tech.
sure. Yeah, Tech top 100. All right, so he has that UFC 300 version of Max Holloway. What you think about those shorts, Frank?
Man, I love them. You kidding me? And I feel like they unlock something in Max,
yeah,
which is already dangerous. How much more can he unlock?
Exactly. All right, so both of these fighters here are a great matchup with Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway. You got to watch out for that power of Dustin Poirier. And look at Tech here. As we said, very creative fighter. He's going to give you a lot of looks because you'll see how he's switching stances here. These punches are coming out at a lot of angles. Yeah, he's into it. He's locked in, talking trash, Frank. I mean, man, look at there.
I love it because, you know, Max and Dustin are two of my favorite fighters for both of those reasons. Max is a showman through and through who's just one of the most skilled guys on the planet, of course, as is Dustin Poirier. But Dustin's got that pop in his hands, man. I mean, it feels like any strike can really change the complexion of the fight for him. And then he's so good at capitalizing on the smallest openings and finishing fights. So, you know, we're going to see what shines through in this fight. But both these guys are putting in a great performance. They are willing to get in the pocket and just mix things up and just stand and bang box.
Yeah, when you talk about Dustin Poirier, look at there. You got those fast hands. And you talk about that punch power 95. Already got 2 rocks from MG. We giving Tech his flowers as he's wearing on his shorts. But, man, MG ain't trying to hear none of that. And getting 2 rocks here already with that strong Dustin Poirier pickup.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, Poirier and Holloway have fought twice, and Dustin's won both of them, you know, so there's got to be something behind it. There's something to it.
Okay, now one thing, though, I see with Tech there, you never can count him out. Like you say, it's the top 100 there. in rank. And look at that head movement there by Tech with that Max Holloway pickup. And he has the stamina advantage. So he can turn this around. As we can see, these fights can go another way quick. All it takes is another head kick or something and just turn this thing around here. But let's see what Tech has to do. He suffered 2 rocks here, but I still feel like he's in a good position because of the stamina advantage that he holds.
You can tell just by the way Tech is fighting. He's not worried about those 2 rocks at all. You know, he's still able to just keep moving forward, implement his game plan. I'm liking the stance switching that he's doing. You know, every so often he's just giving a different look so his opponent can't quite get into the flow of things, can't quite get a read. But you know, MG able to still get these hooks off, able to land quite a few good shots here, Boxer.
Yeah, man, MG just is showing just how great his striking is, okay? Because even though you're doing a lot of stand switching, you're doing a lot of, you know, taunting and stuff like that, that does not, you know, show up on the scorecards. It doesn't do damage here. And MG is just getting right to work here. And I may have to get that round to MG there, looking pretty strong there in round 1.
Yeah, that was a very close, very back and forth round. One thing to keep an eye on going forward, though, is going to be that stamina MG. He threw a lot of shots in that round, and, you know, some of them didn't quite hit the target, and that might have drained the gas tank just a little bit going forward. But we're going to see, you know, what effects that has as they keep going.
Yeah, so see, here's one thing. Okay, so right now, as the game sits right now, punch power with Max Holloway is only at 84. You know, he has that 95 speed advantage. Well, I wouldn't even say an advantage because Dustin Poirier has a 96. So Dustin Poirier has
big
Max
shot
Holloway.
lands for Poirier and knocks Max down to start round 2. And
Oh.
he's following up with that pressure. Those uppercuts are landing at a frequent rate for MG. We're going to see if he's able to keep going with them.
Exactly, but that cardio of Max Holloway is a 99, and so we can see it. And at any point, your fighter can really slow down. But it's a 3-round fight. Okay, so I think MG is still going to be great with his power, even though he has lower stamina here. And Tech is going to have to turn it on at right now. But look at there, getting rocked again. And landing all 3 body shots there on the rock. MG in control. He almost got
he's
caught.
Doing his own talking.
He almost got caught because, you know, Frank, if you let that taunt stay out there a little bit too long, they won't let you take it back immediately. And it looked like Tech could have hit him when that taunt was out. That was very dangerous there on MG.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's all part of it, right? Those calculated risks. And
Yes.
yeah, no, that was a fantastic flurry there by MG. You were mentioning the stamina might be gone, but hey, if he's able to get out in front and keep an advantage, then it's not really going to matter. And he's doing exactly that here to start round 2. We're going to see if Tech is able to, you know, land that combo that he needs. But right now, MG doing a great job, you know, outlanding and getting more damage on Max Holloway to start the second round. But as I'm talking, able to get caught.
Okay, so, huge knockdown. I was saying maybe the fight can turn around right here, but Dustin Poirier and MG able to get a huge knockdown there, but the fight is just now, Tech able to get a reversal on the ground, landing some huge ground and pound for himself, Frank, and you never know. This is maybe where he can turn this fight around.
Yeah, it just might be, but, you know, minute and a half left. We'll see what he's able to do with this time. Getting some good ground and pound off.
Huge ground and pound.
And MG, yeah, that was getting dangerous, man. Looked like he was trying to guess, but he just kept guessing wrong and was getting hit and very, very close to finishing this fight. Still a minute left, and yeah, he's got to be careful. But Tech is going to let him back up and point at the ground, and we'll see if he's willing to just stand in the middle and bang.
Yeah, let's see. Just like last night. Now, one thing with Max Holloway also has the higher altitude perk, so his strikes are going to consume less stamina coming out in round 3, and you had that 99 stamina, so you're going to recover really good. So I want to see, Tech should be able to come out the next round and just he gets a huge knockdown there again for MG, taking round 2, Frank. Wow.
Yeah, man, that might be a 10-8. He had several knockdowns in that round. It was close, ostensibly, but the shots that oh my God, look at his face. The shots that he was landing were just doing so much damage. I mean, he sat him
recovery on Max Holloway. And so let's see if
it.
he's able to come out with this higher altitude perk now. He should just be able to let these hands fly.
Yeah, but that's super dangerous, man, because now his health is so low. If you let those hands fly and get caught once in that exchange, it might be a Rapski. But able to get, you know, some good damage off and able to get a rock on Poirier. So we'll see, you know, how this third round takes shape.
Yeah, now make no mistake about it. I'm thinking Tech needs a knockout here to win this fight here. And that's very smart on MG. Even though that he didn't get that takedown there, that paid dividends on the stamina. Another huge knockdown here. I just think at this point, he's just taking a little bit too much damage here, and that head health is too low. You literally have to have a perfect fight from this point on to come out of this thing with a victory.
Yeah, that block health also super low. I mean, he's just got to be extremely careful, extremely judicious, and, you know, we'll see if he's able to implement that game plan. He's got 3 minutes, and he can't make a single mistake.
Exactly, and then also that nose is busted. That nose is hurt. A lot of concern in the eyes of the doctor for that nose. Seems like he's recovering, but then as soon as I say that, a huge left uppercut there from MG. And let's see at this point if MG can get the knockout here. You know, I mean, he just landed so many knockdowns there. If he just backs up, you never know, the ref could come in and stop this thing. But we got a yellow indicator there. I think Max Holloway is safe from the doctor coming in. Oh, that's very dangerous in the face. Oh,
wow. What?
Huge highlight knockout there on Max Holloway. Different from last night. Dustin Poirier and MG coming out, getting it done.
Yeah,
wow.
MG with the anti-air missile right there, man. As soon as he started taking off for that flying knee, that right hook came, and man, that the night came crashing down for Max Holloway. I mean, at that point, it was kind of desperation time anyway, Boxer. I mean, it seemed like the damage was already done. That second round from MG with those crazy fast, crazy powerful hands to Dustin Poirier was just, I mean, from that point, man, it just seemed like we were cruising towards the inevitable. A great fight, great job there from Tech to fight back and, you know, keep trying everything he could to fight back from that adversity. But, you know, a good victory there from MG.
Yeah, man, it just shows you how elite everyone is in ESFL. If you got a performance like that coming out from the top 100 there on rank on PS5, which is very tough to get to, I may add, but MG coming out able to get it done. Okay, now let's keep moving right along down this card. So we got NG versus Dave here. Both of these fighters are 1-1. Dave has won 1-1. So, you know, we're getting ready. Something's getting ready to change up here. What do you know about both of these fighters?
Wait, did you say MG? Because he just fought.
NJ, I'm sorry.
NJ, okay, got you. My fault. I was looking all over the place.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Dave 1-1-1. He's done everything. He lost his debut to EdParker. He got a victory over Ben Jammy and then got a draw with Papa Doc. Deadly striker with submissions and crazy counters. He's going to be taking on NJ, who's got slick boxing, a high IQ, and mixes everything up. Won his debut, lost to Pip, and we're going to see what these guys... who's able to get that 2 in the win column here today.
All right, so we got this UFC 195 version of Robbie Lawler here and versus Leon Edwards, and already Dave coming out and taking some huge damage there from NJ with Rocky Edwards here. Man, already on the back foot early in round 1.
Yeah, NJ varying things up quite well with the strikes, but now Dave is starting to try and figure things out, man. He's got to be careful, but Robbie Lawler can take punishment and also dish it out. So, you know, you just got to think he's waiting on that counter, and if he's able to land it, it could be bad times at the El Royale for NJ, just like that.
Huge damage. Okay, so now with this version of Robbie Lawler, you're talking about a 96 speed and a 97 punch power here. So you cannot mess around with that type of speed and that type of power. At any point, Dave can turn this fight back around with this very powerful Robbie Lawler, and already 2 rocks, Frank.
Yeah, now he's starting to put things put his foot on the gas pedal and really taking advantage here in the early going of this fight. Mixing in the body shots very well too. That's gonna be something that could pay dividends going forward if we get to that point. But right now, Dave is starting to fire on all cylinders, and already got 2 rocks. We'll see if he can get that third one, maybe get that first knockdown here.
Yeah, already I see the eye health of Leon Edwards, and look at that combination there coming out from Dave, going down to the body, following it up upstairs here, and another just left-right combination there. And look at the head movement by both of those fighters. It's a lot of high-level stand-up action going on right now. It seems like Dave is now getting the best of his opponent and pushing NJ back up on his heels to the fence here. And man,
it looks like NJ is trying to push the pace and trying to be more aggressive. And he's doing a good job of you know, using his aggression, but Dave looks very locked in right now. The defense has been on point, able to keep himself away from these big shots while landing his own. But right now, never mind. I was gonna say it looks like NJ is figuring things out, but the onslaught from Dave is continuing, man. He's able to get a lot of good damage off in this first round, boxer.
Yeah, exactly. Now the Achilles heel with this Robbie Lawler pickup to me is to get him to switch stance, which is only 80, but doesn't seem like he's going to be able to do that. NJ suffering a knockdown here, and Dave right now is just cruising. It's all downhill from this moment. Once your head is hurt to this point here, and he's just slinging these bombs and these 1-2s with all of that power. I mean, this Robbie Lawler pickup is strong.
And the thing is, man, like he's been able to do this while also avoiding so much damage. Huge counter lands there. He's been avoiding the damage, so he can be a bit more reckless in the pocket. He can stand in there and trade because he can take more damage, but able to get the huge left hand to get the first knockdown with the last 10 seconds of the round. And not quite a 10-8, but a very strong showing from Dave in that first round.
Yeah, I mean, man, Dave just really just showing. Look at that eye,
man,
of Leon Rocky Edwards. NJ, I mean, what do you have to do at this point? I mean, if you can't at this point. I don't even think it's even worth putting the effort into trying to, I would say, kick the leg and force a stance switch. It'll be too much work. I mean, man,
if that's your strategy, you got to try and implement that from the beginning. I just feel like at this point, you got to try and bait him into a firefight, make him miss and make him pay. That's really the best option that you got here going forward.
Oh, and you can't trade at this point.
No, not at all.
Look at there, and just the head movement of Dave. He's making you pay. It's going to be a very tough out here for Dave right now at this point here.
Maybe try and get him in the clinch and slow down some of this offense, get some good damage off. But now, man, he's taking shots to the body, to the head. I mean, Dave is locked in. He's looking to just finish this fight. It's just a matter of, at this point, it feels more like when than if. But
exactly.
That's why they fight. NJ can still turn this all around with one big shot. It's just right now, Dave seems.
Oh my goodness!
Hey, man. Come on, man. You already had it. Well, you ain't got to do him like that, bro.
Why you got to do me like that?
You got to do him like that. You
got
to write your name on the performance of the night list. Like, Dave really went crazy on that one. I ain't going to hold you. Like, there's no two ways about it. Dave did that.
Oh, my goodness.
Good Lord.
Hey, if we was in the park, it fight, so game's over, everybody leave,
everybody's going home, bro.
Everybody
you
go
going on
home.
World Star, it's a wrap. Like, it's up. I'm sorry, bro.
Oh my goodness, man. Now, Dave, a very decorated striker, and just showing you how dangerous Robbie Lawler is with that huge, flying knee, off of the what was that? The major lunge flying knee?
Yeah.
Like, stop it. Man.
Yeah, slid out of the way, and then, oh my goodness, that knee was filthy. Big nasty even, as the kids say.
Man, yes. Clip that. Hey, man, NJ, a very great fighter, came out, had a just a tough night. Sometimes it ends like that, so I understand, but tonight was a night of AKA Dave. Wow.
Yeah. That's the thing about fighting, man. There can only be one winner and one loser.
Exactly. Great fight.
But anyway,
that was a great fight.
Great fight. And we got another one right here on
Yeah.
the horizon, man. We got Treehouse taking on EdParker.
Oh,
I'm sorry to
about to
just
get
step over you
crazy.
like that, boxer, but I mean, this fight is going to be nuts, man. Treehouse is
this
2-0. He's often been top 10 in world championships. He beat Spooky and he beat Tech. He's a grappling wizard, man. Digital Gordon Ryan, the submission specialist. And then we got EdParker. And what needs to be said about EdParker, bro? Like
Nothing. So, all right, this is where I sit up because I'm not joking. This is where I get better by just looking at what Treehouse is doing. Okay. But he's fighting EdParker here. And one interesting thing is they're in the heavyweight division. How in the world do you negotiate a fight with EdParker and he agrees to this heavyweight? I know EdParker will take a fight any place, anytime, anywhere. But man, what does Treehouse have up his sleeve coming out with Minotauro Nogueira? Is that what I'm seeing?
That's exactly what you're seeing.
Like if Treehouse said, "Hey, I want to fight you at heavy and with Minotauro Nogueira," it's like, no, man, that sounds like crazy. So
sounds like a trap.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see what happens here, Frank. This is crazy.
Yeah, no, that big nog pick is crazy. Already got him tied up in the clinch. No way.
What I'm talking about.
No way. He's coming immediately going
about.
into the guillotine.
Okay, so he fakes. Look at this. All right, the stamina drain here. Let's see what Treehouse is going to do. And that's very okay. He went for a position over submission. Now you got to be careful here because if EdParker tries to transition, Treehouse is going to block that transition and just be ready for the submission here. All right, he lands some ground and pound. And you can't take none of these.
No.
But this is not where Treehouse is looking for this submission. We
already
know.
One of the best to ever do it in this game, man. But Treehouse right now is making a statement, starting things off already in full mount. And now he's looking for another submission, going for that arm triangle.
Okay, now he has a stamina advantage. Now let's see what games he's playing. Okay, so right now he's faking the submission and he's going to wait all the way until, there it is. He gets the stamina advantage and then he goes for the submission. So he gets it. He's one submission away already from the victory. We hadn't even crossed, halfway of round two. Round one. I'm sorry.
Man, exactly. Like, what a performance thus far from Treehouse. And now he's going again.
And there it is. It's a wrap. It's over. It's over.
Wow.
It's over. So this is the thing. Here's one little nuance I didn't even have a chance to say. Treehouse starts this fight out with a slip clinch, and that's it. You're already in a guillotine and you're done.
Yeah. I mean, slip clinch, gets into the guillotine, starts draining some of the stamina. And then from that point, it was just academic. I mean, he used that to transition into full mount. And that was it, man. It seemed like, two arm triangles, and that's all she wrote.
Thank you for adding to my tool bag. I will be practicing that slip clinch. I mean, you got to do it. You got to know it,
man. And to be honest, man, speaking of adding things, got to add Treehouse to the performance of the night list. And to be honest, it might be a foregone conclusion at this point. Like,
get Z Hunter to send that man 300K.
Man, and send me 300K too. Let me
exactly. Wow. I mean, that's why I say Treehouse Nogueira. It sounds like a trap. It sounds.
Yes.
Look, EdParker didn't even get a chance to throw a strike.
Oh my God, I didn't even realize that.
No, didn't even get a chance to throw a strike. Crazy.
Completely shut out. That is insane.
Okay.
That is insane.
Moving right along here. We're gonna talk a little bit.
I can't. I feel like we can't quite move on yet. Because, like, as I was saying, EdParker is one of the best to do this, since UFC 3. Has had a very good run in the ESFL, and then for Treehouse to step up like that and shut him out, literally, not a single strike thrown. Able to get that victory, just massive job, massive respect to Treehouse for that performance, man. That was
very impressive.
Very well done.
Yeah. So, okay, As great as those last two fights are, what if I told you there's a greater fight that we're getting ready to show right now? Matter of fact,
say more right now.
The greatest of all time versus the greatest of all time. Talk to me, Frank. Talk to me.
The greatest of all.
Okay. You still there, Frank?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. My camera's messing up. I'll get that figured out in a second. But these two guys, man, GOAT versus GOAT. GOAT1099 is making his ESFL debut for UFC 5. Part of Romero's new camp, Phoenix. GOAT1099 has had countless, amounts of success on UFC 3 and 4 here in the ESFL. Fantastic performer against I'm the GOAT, who's 3-1. Defeated Papa Doc, Papa Lemur, and Ungodly. Lost to Liax the Great in the main event of 154, but suffocating pressure. He bullies blocks and has elite submissions. So I'm looking forward to see which one of these guys is going to be, cement himself as the GOAT. I mentioned earlier, maybe the loser needs to change his name, but that's not for me to decide.
Yeah, so man, with GOAT1099, we talking about the legend of ESFL, definitely Hall of Famer. But you got brand new, fresh blood. Like, I'm the GOAT, okay? And I understand when somebody has your name, I done face a lot of, I'm a this, I'm a that. It's like, yeah, well, I'm gonna have to show you. And that's what we about to see right here. Like, no, look, I'm the GOAT. So it's a lot riding on this, especially as gamers. When you talk about your gamer tag and your name, that's literally everything. So this is gonna be a great fight. Now, if they elect to choose, both of these fighters here are the most rounded. When you want to talk about Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski, it's no reason to even talk about their stats because they're good everywhere, both fighters. So it's just really down at this point to who is the best of all time here. So GOAT1099 in the red gloves. We got GOAT of MMA, the fresh new blood coming in the blue gloves. What did you see in early here in round one, Frank?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind, the most apparent thing, we're going to have to figure out a way to differentiate between these two. But
Exactly.
Starting things off, man, like you said, both these fighters are so well-rounded in every area of mixed martial arts that it's really just going to come down to what both players have between their ears, like who's going to outthink the other one, who's going to be able to set those traps. And you can see right now this fight is already being fought at a much more methodical pace than the ones we've seen thus far, because they both know that any mistake could be the last one.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we get, maybe we can differentiate between 1099 and MMA.
Okay.
So GOAT1099, he's a methodical fighter. I wish this fight was 5 rounds, but it's 3 rounds. So you really got to step on the gas pedal just a little bit here. And look at it, already a rock already in a takedown by GOAT1099, and already on top, getting a transition. Well, no, transition block. It looked like an undeniable fake. Not sure, but yeah, let's see what GOAT able to do from here.
Some people might not call it high IQ, but I love the transition to get the rock and then immediately look for the takedown.
Ooh, that was huge.
You're just giving him so much to think about already, and then now you've got over 3 minutes to try and really assert dominance. You've ostensibly put yourself ahead on the judges' scorecards because you've done more damage. Now you can put yourself in a position to take next to no damage for the rest of the round. So we're going to see if 1099 is able to capitalize on that, while MMA is going to try to find a way to get out of this precarious position.
Yeah, exactly. And GOAT1099 using that IQ steal to get into the half guard position, using those posture up R1 transitions there, doing a good job. But GOAT of MMA able to get back to full guard here, but spending a lot of time here on his back. 1099 able to get some transition blocks here and just doing a good job right here at control. But look at there, gets reversed there by MMA, Frank, and he has a minute to work.
As soon as you say, and he had good control, he gets reversed, as is tradition. But 1099 able to try to get himself into north-south, able to do so, but not quite able to get that get up. And then MMA is just going to try and pepper the ribs just a little bit. Maybe just salt away the round here and just get some control time. Never mind. He's going to get up and invite 1099 back to his feet.
Okay, look at there. I
Big
like what
shots.
1099 is doing there, showing some classic boxing there, and then keeping it dirty there in the clinch.
Yeah, again,
And
just
doing a
something
good
else
job.
to think about. You know?
Exactly. Just something else to think about, like you said, because it's just all about keeping, staying unpredictable. It's like, he could clinch, throw a quick elbow before I can react, or that could be a hook, or it could be a takedown.
Exactly.
So you got a lot on your plate that you already got to face when you facing 1099.
Yeah, and just it's been very back and forth, but through that first round, I feel like MMA is kind of realizing, okay, maybe he picked that name for a reason, like both these guys are starting to see.
Yeah, now it could turn around at any point here. Coming in the second round here, this is a very pivotal point of the match here. And look at GOAT there, he landed a huge overhand haymaker. And there's a takedown attempt by Alexander Volkanovski. Go to MMA, not able to get it. And he's dealing with a little bit of eye health there, MMA.
Yeah, maybe, that takedown was to try and prevent some of the offense coming back towards that eye. But 1099 looking for it again. Stuffed once again, though. MMA doing a good job of keeping those takedowns down, but now able to get some good damage off. 1099's got to be careful. A big high kick right there. That roundhouse is dangerous. I mean, he's got to watch out for that.
Wow, one thing I like what 1099 doing, look at there, able to get a well-timed takedown into the spear and going for the crucifix, not able to get it and getting a lot of transition blocks right here. MMA has to be careful getting transition blocks of his own, just doing a great job there. GOAT 1099 is able to get himself back on top in a great position here. He's done it in round one. He did it here in round two, Frank. Good job.
Yeah, now just, keeping the pressure on, staying on him. Not quite able to get the backpack, but MMA able to break free. Now circling back against the cage, able to get 1099's back up against the wall. We'll see if he's able to, use this advantageous position.
Now, last time 1099 was exact same spot, head held low up against the cage. He was able to use that real estate, spin out, and get back to the center of the cage. Let's see if he's able to do that now. He's able to fight his way off against the wall in a huge haymaker there to knock down GOAT of MMA again. Yeah, and 1099 is just showing some separation right now, Frank. I mean, this is getting a little bit out of pocket here, man. GOAT 1099 like he got something to prove.
He's heating up for sure. I mean, every area of the game he's doing well in. And as he has a good position on the ground, decides to get up and let his opponent back up. We'll see if that's just part of the middle aspect or if he's seeing something that we don't and he knows that he can, get something done. He's been able to land that overhand twice now. And we're gonna see if he's able to, if the third time's the charm, as it were.
Yeah, exactly. That overhand, that's that pull counter check, because that overhand is going to land on that pull sometimes. You want to more so duck that. So yeah, GOAT is able to make some great calls. And then look at that stamina. Both fighters there, stamina is a little bit low. I think 1099 has that stamina advantage here. Only 30 seconds left in that second round here. And GOAT now is the one that's pouring on the pressure right here. And let's see what GOAT of MMA did. You called out one of the greats. Let's see if you can back it up at this point when you're facing adversity.
Yeah, for sure, man. And right now, 1099 had his way that round for sure. He's looking like he's, on his way to a victory, but there's still another round in this fight. Volkanovski is still like always a threat. And at any given moment, man, one punch is all it takes to change the entire complexion.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen crazier things happen and comebacks. But look at that overhand even landing on the sway. I mean, that overhand, you really got to be careful. If you swaying or if you pulling, that overhand is going to connect when you're thinking a straight or a hook is coming out.
Yeah, it can and will catch you slipping if you're not ready for it. Oh my God, I was about to say starting things off sprinting at him.
And look, already on that takedown defense and then getting a takedown of his own. Nice GOAT 1099 just doing a little bit of everything right now.
Yeah, everything he's trying is working at this point. And MMA has got to feel the pressure, definitely, because, He's been on the back foot in this fight, and a
Ooh.
huge pull uppercut to the body, and that
Okay.
overhand once again lands.
Okay, now I'm seeing the dangers of that overhand and why you need to mix them in a little bit more. I really like that counter going to the body, not to the head this time. And I mean, GOAT1099 is just showing in every single facet of the game. He's just a little bit better tonight than MMA. So, you know, GOAT1099 just doing what GOAT has always done throughout the history of the ESFL, and that's just dominate great opponents night after night. We've seen this so many times from him.
And a huge left hook right there is able to drop him. Oh, massive hip toss. It might be the beginning of the end here, Boxer, because right now 1099 is just in that mode. Like, he's going crazy right now in, you know, every area of mixed martial arts. He's able to get some damage in the clinch. He's able to, you know, do work on the ground. His striking has been on point tonight, man. Ooh. And this is one of those performances.
Yeah,
it's gonna be tough to it's gonna be tough to compete with, and people are gonna. This is really gonna open eyes for, you know, if anybody was sleeping on GOAT1099, they won't be after this huge head kick there. Pepper.
But before he added on the salt, like, man, man. So I mean, so here's the thing, man. GOAT1099. He's showing you there's levels to this. I mean, with GOAT of MMA, we've seen GOAT of MMA just take out some of the best competitors here in the ESFL to get to this position. All right, but when you talk about just a student of the game, 1099 is just on a different level, and he's showing that tonight.
Yeah, definitely, man. He's fighting like he's got something to prove for sure. And I was just about to say, I don't think he's going to be content with letting this fight go to the decision. It seems like he's going to try and, you know, keep the pressure on and get that knockout victory. We'll see if he's able to do it with a minute left.
Wow, takedown, just on point. And the thing with this does seem like he's going for this finish. GOAT1099 usually very methodical, and then tonight here getting a huge knockout as he's very aggressive, not just getting it done and letting it go to the scorecards. No, you call me out like this. We getting ready to really solidify this thing with a huge ground and pound KO right there for GOAT1099, getting it done. Whose name is it, Frank?
Man, it's GOAT1099's now. Ooh, he clearly just earned it, man. Like, he went out there like we've been talking about the whole fight. You know, dominated the stand-up, dominated the ground game, dominated the clinch, was able to get the finish. You know, it seemed like he was cruising to a nice victory, but that decision wasn't enough, man. So he was able to just go out there and get the dub, brother. Like, good job.
Yeah, he got it done.
GOAT of MMA. I expect a new name next time you compete. Nothing personal, man. That's just them's the rules. That's how it goes. But just a great performance by both fighters. But GOAT1099 is going to be the one whose praises we're singing today.
Exactly. Wow, just doing his thing. Okay, so you know, we see all of these fights and these competitors show up week after week. You know, but Frank, let's talk a little bit about, you know, what it is that they're fighting for. So, you know, not only do you fight for bragging rights, and, you know, it's a lot when you want to talk about ESFL and everything that's established here with the community, you know, for EA Sports, UFC, just in general, you know, but they're fighting for more than just, you know, credentials online. There's actually a real belt that has, you know, been created for the fighters.
That's right.
And talk a little bit about what that would mean to these fighters, you know, getting that belt and what they need to do to earn that belt.
Yeah, for sure. As you mentioned, you know, we got this beautiful ESFL title belt. And the way that's going to work is once you become a champion on either the PlayStation or the Xbox side, there's going to be, you're going to be able to earn defense points. So every time you defend the title, you earn a point. And at the end of the season, whoever's got the most defense points, whoever's earned and defended that title the most times is going to get that beautiful ESFL title belt sent to them. And they'll be able to have that extra little bit of bragging rights that nobody can take away from them. Let's take a look at that belt real quick. It's gorgeous. We've talked about it. Let's look at it.
Yeah, let's take a look at it. Okay. Yeah, we're back from looking at that belt, what they're fighting for. You know, I've seen the belt in person whenever we went to ESFL Live in Vegas, and that's a substantial belt. That's a real deal, like very, you know, what can I say? Plush, just premium belt.
Let's keep it a band. This is a title belt. It doesn't matter what I did to earn this thing. I'm carrying that joker to Walmart. Like, stop playing with me.
I be carrying that thing. I be carrying that thing to work. Like,
that's what I'm saying, bro. Everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, how'd you do this?"
Yeah, around my waist.
This is my title belt. This is my championship, brother. Like, what do you mean? Yeah, no,
don't let me get that belt.
Do not.
Boy. That thing will be everywhere,
man.
Yeah. Okay, now we getting into the co-main event of the evening. War of VuK versus Cryptic. Both of these fighters 3-1, crazy record in ESFL. What do you know about these fighters, Frank?
Yeah, VuK can fight on the back foot as well as pressure. He's a dominant wrestler with great BJJ. Became a very sorry, I was trying to read the scouting report.
Yep,
a little bit difficult. But he defeated Host Ninja, defeated Swiss, and beat Leax. He's on a 3-fight winning streak. Maybe he's on the road to a title shot. The Cryptic, 3-1 as well, defeated 11 Bravo, beat Storm, and got a big bounce back win over Suave Jamie, methodical pressure fighter who likes to break down his opponents. We're gonna see what these guys have got for us.
Okay, yeah. So we got Cryptic here, fighting with that prime UFC 238 Tony Ferguson. Okay,
man.
So this is a very now VuK there. You know, we already Islam Makhachev current champion, so he's in his prime right now too. So you gotta watch out with Cryptics. You know, I mean, this Tony Ferguson can get it done everywhere, especially on the ground in the submission attempts here, and already taking a slight stamina advantage right now. Let's see what Cryptics does with this prime Tony Ferguson.
Yeah, for sure, man. This is the Ferguson that was just slaughtering people and breaking dreams. Like, this is demon time Tony Ferguson. So we're going to see what he's able to bring out, because this guy is another one that can just do everything. Gets taken down there, but this Ferguson specifically isn't worried about that, man. He's got such crafty submissions from every angle. And when you want to talk about cardio, it's not a lot of 100 stats given out in this game. This version of Tony Ferguson has 100 cardio and a 98 chin. Okay, so you got some defense, and you can employ your offense for a very long time, take a lot of damage here. You know, so Cryptics can kind of, you know, take his time here and just, you know, do what he wants to. But man, you talk about VuK, I mean, very dangerous fighter. You're 3-1 for a reason. Now he gets this fight to the ground, and let's see what he's going to be able to do with this position, Frank. Yeah, in the half guard position, looking to get to side control, not quite able to do so, but we'll see, man, because, you know, Ferguson, very dangerous. And now that he's in guard, you know he's going to be looking for rubber guard at least once, right? Like, it almost feels criminal if you don't when you use Tony Ferguson. And if he's able to get that, those elbows are going to play a major factor.
Okay.
Just goes for the get up there, though.
Yeah, he's getting the fight back to the feet. You know, but you're right. Anytime you're in the guard of Tony Ferguson, you have to watch out there. Nice 1-3 combination there, going for the takedown there of VuK. Not able to get it there, and a huge counter uppercut there with Cryptics with that Tony Ferguson. And he's showing off that 100 stamina right now. Perfect timing.
I mean,
okay, over under, landing some knees.
VuK does a good job of trying to just change things up, you know, get that clinch out there. Looking for that takedown, but that one's a bit telegraphed, just out of range. But nice three-piece there to give Ferguson something to think about, maybe make him a little bit more hesitant of just marching him down.
Exactly. So we coming out of round one, and, you know, this, you know, never know who's up on these scorecards right here. But I would expect as this fight goes along, with that 100 cardio, you're going to probably see Cryptics put that pedal to the metal there. You know, you know, with this marathoner, with Tony Ferguson with 100 cardio.
100%. But like what really jumped out to me when we saw that brief look at the fight stats, the accuracy of Tony Ferguson is insane. He's 33 for 50 on total strikes, 66%. Come on now. Wow. I mean, that's not a recipe for success for VuK going forward. He's gonna have to figure out some way to try and make Ferguson miss a little bit more. But right now, Ferguson being very active and very accurate with his offense, and that's gonna be something that's gonna be very dangerous for VuK going forward.
Yeah, and another thing, 99 recovery for Tony Ferguson, and that's why you saw at the beginning of this round, he literally was back to full stamina. That's gonna start paying dividends right here because Tony Ferguson is fresh right
also
now.
Doing a great job working the body, and then a nice uppercut there to, just mess with VuK's mind. He keeps going to the body, and then whenever you start to block there, an uppercut is what you get next. So great job mixing in the strikes here right now by Cryptic. He's looking great so far, but gets taken down there by VuK, able to get right back up though.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm thinking VuK wants to get this fight to the ground. Let's see if he's able to do just that. But as this fight goes further and further, the advantage just leans to the Tony Ferguson pickup if you can keep the stamina where it's at right now. Now, both of these fighters, eye is hurt, so they have to watch out for these round strikes here, because that could snowball at any time. And so with Tony Ferguson now, that's one kind of chink is in the armor, 92 on the cut resistance. So that's one thing to watch out for.
Yeah, but also I feel like he's doing a good job of alleviating that by mixing in his strikes, man. He's going to the body as well as the legs. So even if he does end up with maybe a little bit of head damage,
going for a ride.
Yeah, I was gonna say he may be able to make it up in other areas, but a good huge takedown there from Makhachev. Now he's in side control, able to just land some of those elbows and get some good damage off on Ferguson. That's not what he wants right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Back in the half guard.
You got a minute 30 to work. You're definitely going to have to land some damage, but you can't go crazy with your strikes because you will get reversed quick, fast, in a hurry with Tony Ferguson, and he's just so tricky. Just one mistake there, you can find yourself in a submission. So I mean, you just got to be really smart with every strike that you select here against Ferguson.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, but VuK doing a good job of working himself around and getting, into the top position, but Ferguson able to get back into the guard. We'll see if this is going to be when he tries to implement that rubber guard.
Yeah, so right now, I mean, trying to get some grapple advantage here is fine, but it's not going to score in the eyes of the judges. You're going to have to try to posture up and land some ground and pound, exactly what he's doing to take that risk going into round number 3. And look at there, round 1, round 2, you never know, man. The judges could be seeing this thing other way of VuK.
It could be. He's been more active, but once again, man, the accuracy, almost the same stat line, 33 for 51 that round. So he missed one more strike. I mean, yeah, that's still insane accuracy. I mean, I don't know how much the judges are seeing that or are cognizant of that, but it's got to be, it has to be stated.
Exactly. You do not want to leave it in the hands of the judges, because I know we've all had those fights to where it's like, look, no, I saved all of the stats. Look, I won. So we've all had it. I would not want to go to the judges with this fight. I mean, this is going to be interesting.
But at the same time, that might not be your choice. It looks like Cryptic is trying to do what he can to get this finish. Some nice shots land there. But the defense of Makhachev and also the takedowns have been doing a good job of keeping him in this fight. VuK has been doing enough to keep himself from getting swarmed, but he hasn't been able to quite take that step forward and get out in front in this fight so far. We'll see if that changes, Bouncer.
Exactly. Nice head movement for the counter right there. One thing about VuK is able to get all of these takedowns here. He's doing damage, but he's damaged himself. I mean, both of these fighters, they deserve whoever wins to get the title shot next. And we can see why. Very well matched. And now 2 minutes and 30 seconds to work. and you deny the transition to go to full guard, and now you find
huge.
yourself in the most dominant position inside of the crucifix, landing down some huge elbows here. You want to be careful because you don't want to get bumped out, and he's able to land 4, 5, 6 strikes here. Not able to get the transition there, Frank, but a huge moment in the round here with Makhachev and VuK. That was amazing damage.
Yeah, that's huge. He did a great job there of just mixing up the timing. You know that that Ferguson was probably trying to look to get that bump escape, but just wasn't able to time it because, you know, VuK was hesitating, but also pulling the trigger. Like, he just did a great job mixing things up. So now he's able to continue to show some nice ground and pound striking, staying on top, but maybe needs to do a little bit more damage to try and change things in the judges' eyes, or just make sure that this fight doesn't go to the judges. He's building that grapple advantage, but not quite able to do enough with it right now.
Oh man, was not able to get that transition denial there, taking some huge ground and pound. This may not go to the judges if he's able to land another strike. Oh, wow, I lost my voice on that one, Frank. That's crazy. Just out of nowhere.
For sure, because it looked like he was getting more or less dominated for the majority of the fight. But when it counted, VuK just stood up and simply finished it. I mean, what else? What else is there to be said, man? Like, you know, I was saying that the grapple advantage wasn't doing much, but then he just was able to use that to get himself into a stack guard position and finish the fight with some vicious ground and pound. And that was all she wrote. And
I mean, man, that's, you know, we saw one like that the last PlayStation card. You know, we was talking about that. That was just a slow cook. You know, you just got slow cooked, man. Like that, it's just, and before you know it, you in trouble and the fight's over with.
Exactly.
I mean, that was just a great job. I was seeing it Cryptic's way all the way up until it was too late. And so, very interesting fight. 4-1 goes VuK.
And that's how it goes, man. Like you'll have everything all well in hand until the end of it, you know, and that's the fight game.
Exactly. Okay, so that was the co-main event. So now we move into the main event of the evening. Fight number 12. It's been a great night of fights, but this is a title fight. Now I'm gonna let you tell us about these two fighters, but one thing, both fighters are undefeated. B3 Wavvy 4-0, Smudger 3-0. And whenever I'm undefeated just in rank, if I got a win streak going, I'm not trying to lose that. So you're talking about ESFL on the line, undefeated. Talk to me, Frank.
You've got not just undefeated streaks on the line. We've got the title belt on the line as well. Smudger, the challenger, defeated Host Ninja at 152, defeated Payne at 154, and he earned his title shot with a victory over EdParker at 158. He was a primetime PS5 champion. He was, you know, self-proclaimed GOAT of Primetime's PlayStation division. We'll see if he's able to come get this title in ESFL. But to do that, he's going to have to take down a very tough opponent in Wavy. Defended his title once already, has one defense point, beat Ungodly, beat Word Life. He won the title against Leax at 156, defended it against Josh at 158. He's got heavy pressure, quick combos, a self-proclaimed bully. And Smudger, you know, looking to use his well-rounded, calculated striking. His word of advice is to not let him get your back. We'll see if Wavy is able to take that advice and keep his title. The fight is already going, and we've got Silva versus Pajeda in the middleweight division.
Yeah, great explanation of both of these fighters. Now, you talking about the alter ego origins version of Alex Pajeda. Frank, 99 punching power, 97 speed. You know, this is crazy right now. Cardio only a 93, and then you fighting against Anderson the Spider Silva,
man,
Origins version. This is a matchup right here
too. What are Silva's speed and power numbers? Because I know they got to be ridiculous too, especially at this time with the black and yellow trunks on. Man, this Silva was different.
Yeah, 98 speed, 94 punching power. So you got a lot that we working with on the feet. We know that this fight is not going to the ground, and both of these guys here just landing some nice counter strikes, and you can't take any strikes for too long. This thing can end at any moment here with the speed and the accuracy and the power of both of these fighters.
Absolutely. I'm just curious, I'm wondering the thing I'm keeping an eye on, Silva obviously has such great kicks and knees. Will Smudger get caught in between? There's always that chance of, are you going to get caught trying to throw a kick in boxing range? And if you do that against somebody like Fajeda, he can capitalize and end the fight very quickly with one well placed or well timed overhand or uppercut, as evidenced yesterday. But we'll see how this fight plays out. Right now, Smudger doing a good job staying out of range and just peppering, but getting caught with some big shots every now and then.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I haven't seen too many kicks, or if any kicks at all. It seems like they just keeping it to straight up boxing rules right now. I mean, man, they just seeing who got the best in the hands. Both undefeated fighters here. Oh, there we go. We got the first kick there. So this is an MMA match here. And but man, you backed up against the cage right now with these 99 bombs coming at your head, but you can't evade them because you got that Anderson Silva with that amazing head movement of 100. So
yeah,
you can move that head.
100 is crazy.
He's absolutely insane. Oh,
nice left hook there.
All right, so Smudger fighting off the man. Look at that. I mean, man, these guys are surprised nobody's gotten rock here, but we still got 20 seconds to go in round one. B3 Wavvy just putting on the pressure right now, but Smudger able to mitigate that with the footwork and the kicks and the teeth of Anderson Silva. That round could have been anyone's round. Man, yeah, I want to see what happens in round two.
Absolutely. I am liking the way that Smudger is mixing in those teeps, though. That could be he's putting the water in the basement early. This is a 5-round fight. That could be something that plays, a big factor later on if he's able to keep that body work up. But also, he's gonna have to be careful and not get too predictable because, as I mentioned, he can get caught between ranges. He could also get caught with an uppercut from those massive hands of Alex Fajeda. Exactly.
And this version of Anderson Silva has a 98 chin. Okay, so he can take some damage here. And now you got to watch out if you're Wavy because you got to look at your stamina. Smudger is able to, you manage that stamina a little bit better here. This is a 5-round fight. You can have 99 power, but if you don't have no stamina behind it, it's not going to quite be as effective.
Yeah,
nice strike so far.
You can have a monster truck, but it ain't going nowhere without any gas. None of that power matters. So he's got to be careful here. Just right now, both these guys being very patient, just trying to figure out. It seems like they're throwing a lot of range finding combos. What? Except Silva just decides, you know what? We're gonna throw everybody for a loop. Takes this thing to the ground, and now he's got the back of Fajeda.
Yeah, and that was a very high level takedown there. We get a cancel, taking the back, and then getting the takedown there, like the backpack takedown, and now Anderson Silva in the back sitting, and this is not. Now Alex Fajeda goes from very strong on the stand up to moderate at best on the feet, but B3 Wavvy able to get this thing back to the feet, but only for a short time. Gets returned right to the mat. And let's see if we can get a mount position coming out from Smudger. And this is where Alex Fajeda's is his Achilles heel. I'm expecting some huge damage here, landing down some huge strikes there.
Yeah, it looks like Smudger's trying to get that title. He's very close to doing so. Stamina's low. He's taking a lot of damage here in this ground and pound position.
Wow, this right here could pay a lot of dividends, even if it doesn't end right here. Now you're going for the submission attempt, and I expect Smudger to drain that stamina and get this transition block, and then go for the submission here and get his first submission. It was very close. He didn't quite have enough stamina to get it done, but you can't get another submission or that'll be it. And you got a minute to work here. You want to stay on that the submission, applying that pressure for your submission offense, because this is not Alex Fajeda's strong point.
Or he could just knock him out here from the back flat position. Huge shots land there, but Pereira able to keep himself out of trouble, you know, able to absorb most of them on the block. Still got Silva on top of him with 20 seconds left. And if this fight goes to round 3, if I'm Smudger, I'm taking this thing right back to the ground. That seems to be an area where he's got a clear advantage, and I would look to press that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, every fight stands up right back on the feet, and it could go either way, especially with Alex Pereira. But, you know, we see, you know, just where the Achilles heels is and where, you know, his strengths are. You know, this is the Alex Pereira before he gets into the UFC. So, you know, the grappling and everything on the ground is not going to be where it needs to be. So let's see what happens. But you got that 99 mistake corrector with Alex Pereira. So you got to be careful here when it's on the feet.
Yeah, 100%, man. You know, at any given moment, one of those huge hooks lands or an overhand, we're talking about an entirely different fight. The fight could be over, you know, just depending on the timing and the you know, placement of said shot. It's just all a matter of finding it. And
Yeah,
that question mark
exactly.
kick could have been it, but no, see that huge uppercut right there. Now it's looking different. Maybe opened up a cut on the face of Smudger. He's got to be a little bit careful.
Exactly. And Smudger has to be very creative with his takedowns because this is not a strong point for Anderson Silva, only with a 84 takedown. And he still was able to manage to get the takedown in round 2. But you need to win this round 3 to cap it off. But if you're Wavy, I would definitely look to take advantage here. And it looks like that's exactly what he's doing, able to land some huge shots.
Yeah, definitely. Trying to, both these guys exchanging in the pocket, landing some hooks. There it was.
There it is again.
Got him. Same one. The cancel into the back trip.
Wow. Definitely going to have to put that in my bag of tools. And look at here. It seems like Smudger just has this advantage on the ground so far. Let's see if he can get the transition block up, and he decides to roll into full guard right here. And let's see what Smudger is able to do. He has a minute and 15 seconds to work and get some damage and potentially win this fight. Oh, gets reversed here by Alex Pereira.
Yeah, now, you know, this is great for Pereira. Now he can try and even things up. You know, we saw it earlier on in the card. You can get some good postures, some good posture ups and land some good damage, and now you're in a totally different fight. Now you've got things evened up. Now you've gotten a lot of damage done onto your opponent. So it's really just a matter of making this time on the ground count as he's able to posture up and try and land some of this damage. You know, Wavy's champion for a reason. So we'll see if he's able to, you know, call upon that championship experience and that pedigree and get himself another title defense.
Yeah, now when Alex Pereira is on top with this Origins version, it's just not every category almost is a 84 from take top control all the way to ground striking, some submission, offense, and control. So I mean, it's not a strong point, but you're still getting control time. And look, out of nowhere, gets the guillotine, not able, and gets out of it. It's crazy. Gets reversed.
No, that's
Can
not
you
great.
posture up and land some damage? But no,
now this
you
is
got
worse.
10 seconds to work. I don't know if it's going to be enough time. Is he going to be able to beat the buzzer?
Not,
And he gets it.
Well,
And he gets it.
He did,
And
but
that is all she wrote. Yes. Gets.
Does that
the
count as finishing the
submission.
fight?
Yes. So what ends up happening, the animation plays out after the bell. However, you end up getting a submission before the end of the round, and all you're looking at is the animation playing out after the bell.
I got to keep it a band.
He gets the win. He gets the win.
I got to keep it a band. I would be hotter than a $3 skillet off of that. Like, the bell rang, the fight should be over. Anyway, but that's neither here nor there. There's nothing that I can do about that. Unfortunately, there's nothing that Wavy can do about that. And that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Smudger is now your new champion.
Wow.
Indeed. Wow, indeed.
Right there. Ends up getting the title right there. But wait, where do we? Oh yeah, I don't have the sound on. But yeah, so yeah, like you said, Smudger able to get that win right there, and that was just a great job of applying that pressure right there on the buzzer. I mean, yeah, Frank, like you said, you would be hot with that because you know you get that submission that happens right at the end of the round. It does look crazy, but you filled up your submission meter before the end of the other round.
You know, so, yeah. I get that. I get that. Like that's all well and good, but like if I'm Wavy, bro, I am screaming from the mountaintops for
you're
a
not
rematch.
trying to hear that.
You know, I ain't trying to hear that at all, bro. Like, you know, like I said, I would be asking for a rematch, but also we've got you know, several other people. Tree looks like he potentially earned a title shot. Cryptic looks like he potentially earned a title shot. Like,
I'm sorry, GOAT1099 hanging out there.
Exactly. So, like, what are we? There's a lot that goes into who's getting that next title shot. It's a very muddy situation right now, man, and I can't wait to see what comes out of it. It's a great time to be a fan of both UFC and ESFL, man. There's great things going on. A lot of intrigue going forward here.
Yeah, exactly. So with Smudger here getting the first title, now he also needs a title defense, right, to get in line for competition for the belt. Now, out of all, we saw some great fights here. Out of the fights that we saw, do you have one that stands out for you?
I think as far as fight of the night goes, I think I would give that one to Pug beating Spooky. Veristyle and Kratos is a very, 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 very close second. I feel like that was a better, more competitive fight all the way throughout. But I feel like the reason I'm giving Pug the victory over Spooky is just the fact that everything seemed lost for Pug at the beginning of that fight, and then he was able to turn things around and get that unanimous decision victory. As for performance of the night, I got to give that one to Treehouse, man. Just completely shutting out EdParker on the scoreboards, getting that first round submission, 0 strikes landed. I mean, what else needs to be said about that? Like, that's performance of the night. I don't see how you can argue that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go with your picks. Me personally, my favorite fight that I saw tonight was the Treehouse, because we know how great EdParker is, and just, you know, every time that we see, you know, Treehouse, you know, you get taught a lesson. It's like, hey, this is another nuance in the game that you hadn't been paying attention to.
He's on another level.
Exactly, another levels to this, because we see majority of all fighters, they come out and they get things done and they get things started with their hands, and then they take it to the ground. You already know Treehouse is going to the ground with no hands. I mean, so that's where it's different for me. Another, you know, shout out is GOAT1099. You know, with that pressure, you got the young blood coming in. He has the name, I'm the GOAT, and then you just dominate like that. And then, how can we forget the flying knee?
Yeah, Dave getting that flying knee KO over NJ. I mean, after already putting on a striking clinic was a beautiful sight for sure.
All right,
we had a great night of fights here, Boxer. I mean, some wonderful performances.
Okay, so with that, I think everything is said. We had a great night of fights for wrapping up ESFL 160, and looking forward to seeing you on the next PlayStation event here coming up pretty soon. But yeah, anything you want to say, Frank?
Man, take it easy until next time.
Okay, till next time. Peace.